Hey, in this tutorial, I'm gonna discuss a little bit how to use some of the task settings and how do they affect the game rules. So I have created a game with the 3 tasks, and let's just put all those tasks on a map. Put show on a map and add all tasks, and it asks for us to set the locations. So let's set the 1, 2, and 3. And I have set it so that in the configuration, if you look at the map, we see the task order on the pin. So that's why it's kind of easy to understand. 1, 2, 3, and we always know what task is what, and we are showing all the tasks on the map. Okay. Now, by default, this would actually work if we add one more logic, and let's add finish condition. When all tasks finished, finish the game. And just by these 2 blocks, what we have here is that the game starts, everything is displayed on a map. When the player goes there, it activates, and when they have answered all of those 3, the game will finish. Okay? And now this is not only affected by the rules that we have created here, it's also affected by the settings that are within the task itself. So let's open task 1 and check what the settings tell us. You want to go under additional settings, and here is the group of settings that will also affect how the game behaves. And as you can see, the default is always remove when answered correctly or incorrectly. That basically means that when the task is answered, it gets removed from the playing field. Okay, so there will be no possibility with these rules and with these settings that you can answer any of these tasks 2 times. Now, if we change it to keep until answered correctly, and let's put here a timer as well, so that after you answered incorrectly, you cannot answer it for 60 seconds. And if we would now save, what would happen is that if player goes to the task number 1, that is this red ring, and answers incorrectly, the icon would stay there and they could actually revisit it and answer again. Okay, so that would mean that you could answer the second task only once, third task only once, but the first task you can answer several times. Okay, so you can also do it for other tasks and just check what the settings here are and set them as you will. So maybe, just maybe, you want people to give the option to return whatever they answered and just check it again. Maybe it's not even a question, maybe it's a story, and you want this story to be available always. Okay? So you can also say that, hey, keep this on the map until the end of the game, and it will stay there. People will go there, it will activate, they can answer it, and move away, and it will still be visible for them. Okay? And here also you can say that if somebody answers it, lock this task for X amount of seconds. You know, it can be seen as a penalty, so you can't right away answer it again, but it's also a very useful tool to avoid this task popping up right away, because when the player is here, the task activates, he answers, it gets closed again, then he needs time to move away from that place. And this timer here just locks it for some seconds so that the player is free to move away and it doesn't bother the player at that specific moment. They can still activate it again. Okay? So now we have actually still the same rules, but we have 3 differently behaving tasks. And you know, they are appearing and disappearing differently. They all will be shown at the beginning of the game, but the number 3 can only answer it once correct or incorrect, and it disappears. Number 1, the red one, needs to be answered correctly for it to disappear. And number 2 just remains there until the game is finished. Now, note here that we have also set the finish criteria. And that means that when all tasks are finished, then the game will finish. And what it basically means is that if all tasks have been answered at least once, okay? So if you have visited this once, and this once, the game will end, even though the icon is still on the map. That's about it. Thank you.